Let's take an example. Assume that a media company owns and operates a radio stations. The main revenue stream is advertising revenue, and the contracts are signed with various businesses for the sale of airtime. The account executive obtained those contracts are compensated through a 5% commission on the total contract price for each new contract signed. So there is a sales commission 5%. And this commission is paid once the contract is signed, once the contract is obtained. So it is a incremental cost of obtaining a contract. Executive X has obtained a new 2 years advertising contract with company ABC. Total contract costs related to this contract are as follows. So we have several types of costs, and we need to determine which costs can be expensed, which costs can be capitalized, which costs can be considered as incremental cost of obtaining a contract, and which costs can be considered as a cost to fulfill a contract. 4 questions that we need to answer. The first type of expenses is legal fees, and the contract, this legal fees is related to the contract drafting and contract revision, and this is incurred on a no-win, no-fees basis, which means that if you didn't obtain the contract, you are not going to pay this contract revision fees. So, do you think that this cost is related directly to obtaining the contract? The answer is yes, and because the company expected to recover or cover these expenses from the contract revenue, so this must be capitalized as incremental cost of obtaining the contract, because simply the company wouldn't have incurred this type of expenses if the company didn't obtain the contract. So this one is incremental cost related to obtaining the contract. Second expense is a commission, and this is paid to the account executive, and as per the case study, this commission is paid only once the company signed the contract, once the company obtained the contract. So again, this is another type of expenses that is related to incremental cost of obtaining the contract. Again, the company wouldn't have incurred this type of expenses if the company didn't obtain the contract. So this must be capitalized as incremental cost of obtaining the contract. So this must be capitalized. Third type of expenses, meals and entertainment. This is incurred during the sales process. So as long as this is incurred during the sales process, so it's not related to obtaining the contract, because actually you spend this expense and at the same time you don't know whether you are going to obtain the contract or not. So this must be expensed immediately in the income statement, and this cannot be capitalized. Next one, creative director's time. So this is the salary allocation of creative director to develop on-air advertising. So this cost is related to a cost to fulfill a contract. So this must be capitalized because actually it enhances the performance obligation that the company is going to deliver. So this must be capitalized as per the contract period. Next example, actors. This is amount paid to the external actors to record the on-air. So this is related to cost to fulfill a contract, and this must be capitalized. So in this example, we determined what can be expensed, like the means and entertainment, for example, and what can be capitalized. And the cost to be capitalized, we split into 2 types. The first one is related to incremental cost of obtaining the contract, and the second one is related to cost to fulfill a contract, exactly like the creative director time and the actors fees as well. I hope the explanation for the contract cost is clear. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.